Hello, this is the Harvard Step Test, and we're going to go over some of the equipment we'll be using. This is a manometer set at 30 beats per minute. It's got a nice little loud ding sound each time. It's to help keep the rhythm of the pace while you're stepping. This is the child blood pressure cuff. It's always important to have a proper size blood pressure. Otherwise, if you have a unproper size blood pressure cuff, you might get a false reading. Here's the tape measure, which we'll be measuring this box at 18 inches. You see there, 18 inches, and then we'll just give it a quick measurement, and now we're good to go. This is just to get the height of the box that she'll be stepping on. I'm going to put these aside and get ready for the resting blood pressure and heart rate. Real quick, another piece of equipment is the watch, stethoscope for the blood pressure, and also the video camera to record all of this. And we're going to start off with the blood pressure, resting blood pressure. I'm going to put it around the humerus, and your stethoscope is going to go right at the brachial artery. You're going to inflate the cuff, listening for the systolic, and you're going to inflate the cuff, and as you deflate it, you'll be listening for your systolic and dystolic as well. One thing to know when you have the younger age group, it is a little bit harder for them to maintain concentration. They tend to kind of wander off into their own little worlds, causing movement like this. As you can see, she's already having problems sitting still, and these type of movements can actually cause like what sounds like beats and are actually not. So it's important to try to have them sit still if you can. It's just one of the difficulties when dealing with the younger population. Getting this resting blood pressure, she has a systolic blood pressure of 108 and a diastolic of 64, which falls right into normal limits, maybe a little bit on the low side for her age group. So we're going to record our scores, and then we're going to get the resting heart rate. And the way we're going to take the resting heart rate is we're going to feel for the radial pulse, the middle index finger, and I'm going to do it for, I'm going to count for a duration of 30 seconds, and whatever number I get, we're going to times it by 2. It's when getting a resting heart rate, it's important to not look at your watch if you have like a stopwatch, because trying to count and looking at other numbers can mess you up, and I had to learn that a hard way as a young paramedic. So after we get the resting heart rate, we record our scores, and then we start explaining to her exactly how the test is performed, the type of motion she needs to use when going during the up phase of this, the bench step, and then the down phase. A few things to note is, one, this box is not equipped to handle my weight, so as I go to demonstrate the step, you will see that it gives way a little bit and I lose my footing. And as you can see in her face, they thought it was pretty funny. But luckily, I didn't fall completely down. So you can see here the box is pretty high for hers, which I said in the beginning makes this like a vigorous exercise for her. And as well as her age and underdeveloped muscles, it's kind of hard for her to stay in the steady rotation, the steady rhythm with the manometer, especially because as you can see, like with normal people, they have the swinging arm motion. It's all steady motion, alternating legs going up and down. But with her, it's more of the outspreading of the arms at shoulder height, and that's a balancing technique that she needs to utilize to do this exercise. You see, kind of they swing up like that. But for the most part, she does a very good job. She's able to stay close to the beat of the manometer all the way through the 5 minutes. However, when we see at the end with the post-exercise measurements that, according to the Harvard test step scale, she did score on the lower average. So, as you can see, this kind of goes on for a good 5 minutes. There's me as the spotter / trainer. I'm sitting there watching her, making sure she's not getting too tired, not pushing herself to the point where she's going to start messing up, possibly fall. And you want to be there in case they do trip or lose their balance. I'm also there as a motivator for children at this age. Motivating them is a really good tool to make them push themselves to the limits that they're comfortable with. Sometimes at this age, if they're not into the exercise, it's real easy for them to kind of give up. But as you can see, also it's kind of important to notice that she is right-handed, and the majority of her step-ups come from the right leg. And that's just her natural response because she has a lot more to concentrate on the bouncing. Here you can see she gets out of rhythm a bit, trying to stay within the rhythm of the manometer. But as you can see, she carries on, stays pretty close to it. She gets about the 30 steps per minute, and yeah, I think she did pretty well. But if you want to fast forward from here, you can go to where we get the post-exercise measurements, and then we figure out what her PEI is according to the Harvard test calculations. So she gets near the end here. You want to make sure at the end of this exercise that she immediately sits down, and then at 1 minute we're going to take her first her first post-exercise heart rate, and we're going to do that for 30 seconds, and then remember we're going to times it by 2. So here we go. She sits down. We're going to wait the minute. And then for the first measurement, we get a 46, which turns out to be a 92. And for the second measurement, we get a 43, which is an 86. And then for the third, we got a 41. So just doing the measurement according to the Harvard step test, which the equation is the duration of the exercise, which is 5 minutes, and you put that into seconds, so it turns out to be 300 seconds. And you're going to times that by 100. So you got 300 seconds times 100, you got 30,000. And then over that, you're going to, now be on the top part of your equation. And then over the sum of your 3 post-exercise heart rates, you're going to take that number, you're going to multiply that by 2, and you're going to multiply that by 2. So in her case, this was 259 times 2, turns out to be 518. So now we have the equation of 30,000 over 518, which comes out to be 57.9 for her PEI. And according to this test, at 57.9, that puts her into the low average of the results. So this was the test. I think going on further to increase her endurance, everything will maybe work on her rhythm a bit, the step routine, as well as mainly the height of the box. And it is important to note that before and after, we did a little bit of warm up before the dynamic stretching with a little bit of the trampoline jumping, and then after we did all our measurements here, we did the static stretching and the light walking. So that was the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.